Hey everybody. I had a friend ask me the other day if I would demonstrate how to divide hostas. And I said, well, certainly I'll do that. It's an easy thing to do, and I'll probably have a plant in a couple of weeks that needs to be divided. So today's the day. I have a beautiful specimen right here. Now, I do not know what brand this is, if it has a name. I think it's just, a generic, everyday, run-of-the-mill hosta. But it's beautiful. And if I can tell y'all something, I think I've only bought one hosta in my life. All the other hostas that I have here, somebody gave me a piece of theirs and I planted it, and I have divided and divided, and that's how I have the hostas around my place. Now, hostas are good plants. I love them. They're perennial plants, which means that they will come from the ground in the spring and live all the way through the summer, and in the wintertime they die back to the ground and then come around the next spring. Around February, for me where I live, I'll begin to see crown part of the hostas coming up out of the ground, and that's when I know spring is on its way, and I get so excited. This is the hosta that I'm going to divide today. It's grown really big, it's pretty, but I'm afraid that it's outgrowing its space here. And I think that if I do not divide it, it will be detrimental to the plant. The plant has to have enough space to continue to grow and thrive, and I guess eventually it could choke itself out. So it's good to divide your hostas. So you're saving the plant, and then you're getting free plants out of the deal. So what's better than that? Now let me tell you a few things about hostas. Hostas are shade plants. Look, here's Rebel. Hostas are shade plants. They do well in the shade. Right now you can see the sun is shining on us, but there's a big oak tree right there, and in the summertime all of its leaves cast a shady canopy over this area. So this is a good spot for these hostas. They've lived here for years and years. But I have an area right just on the back side of this bed that I want to plant some more hostas. So what I'm going to do is divide this one and transplant some of its parts down there into the other part of the bed. Also in this area, I'll just go ahead and show you, I have not paid any attention to this little garden bed this spring as of yet. I don't know. Everything is just happening all of a sudden, and everything seems like it's waking up at the same time, and everything is needing attention. And if you're a beginner gardener, don't get overwhelmed by that. Just know that things usually wake up all at the same time, and I'm usually not prepared and ready to tackle it all. I just get to it when I can. And so today's the day that I'm getting to this little shade bed over here. So my plans are to divide and replant this hosta, and then I have, these are autumn ferns. But you see, these live all through the winter, but the old foliage has fallen over. So I'm going to cut this back so I can see what's going on with the hosta. And then that'll make everything just look a little bit tidier and make me feel better about the situation. So here we go. This is an overhead view of this hosta. And here's my hand for reference. So it is pretty darn big, and it's pretty. I mean, I walked out here one day and said, oh my gosh, that hosta's huge. When did that happen? I'm telling you, it snuck up on me. I didn't see it coming, but there it is. Okay, and so here's the ferns. This is the new growth on the ferns, and then this is the old growth that's laying down. So I'm gonna go in here and cut all this old growth back so I can see how much space we're dealing with this hosta. This is the old growth of the ferns. So I'm just gonna go all the way into this little fern canopy and start cutting these old fronds off at the base, being sure not to cut the new growth. I don't wanna do anything to mess up my new growth. Okay, so that looks better. You can see all the actual bed space that I do have back there now that the ferns are off the ground. But look at the legs on those ferns. Man, they've been in this bed for a while. I think I planted those when Jeb was 5, I think, and Jeb is going to be 25 in July, so these things have been here for a good while. But yeah, ferns and hostas, they're great for a shade bed. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is just start digging this thing up. I'm just going to take my shovel and put it in the ground all the way around the hosta. Now let me just go ahead and tell you. After you dig the hosta up and separate it and, you know, put the new plants in the ground, it may look kind of, well, it may look kind of dead. The leaves may kind of wilt and it may be a little bit mad at you about doing it, but it'll perk back up, I promise. I don't think I've lost a hosta yet to dividing. So if you're a beginner, don't worry about it. It may look a little bit pitiful at first, but it'll bounce back. I'm telling you, these plants, they are resilient, which is a good thing because I'm kind of rough with mine. Okay, I put the camera on the ground so you can kind of see at ground level what I'm doing. And I hope that this comes out clear, but I'm just gonna look, and I'm just gonna start digging right here on the edge of this plant. Just stick the shovel in and kind of pull back, and you're gonna go all the way around the plant doing that. It may be a little bit difficult because you're sort of I'm working in a little sort of a tight space back here, but I mean, I'm not going to hurt the plant for sure. Oh, one thing about hostas, and if you have hostas and you have deer, you know this to be true, but hostas are deer food. The deer love hostas. And knock on wood, I don't even know if that is wood, but for some reason in this bed right here, the deer don't bother my hostas. Now in other parts of my yard, yeah, they find the hostas and they eat them. So I think I'm just going to kind of dedicate this to being a hosta bed because I love hostas and I want to be able to enjoy them in my gardens. Here's the hosta. Oh my gosh, this is heavy. I don't know if I'm going to be able to pick it up by myself. What am I talking about? Yes, I am. I can do this. Oof. I might just roll it on out of here and kind of show you. Okay. This is the hosta out of the hole. See, there's the hole. And this is the root ball. It's pretty big. I got a lot of roots. But looking at this hosta, well, first of all, I'm just going to divide it in the middle. And then we'll see where to go from there. And at first I'm just going to cut it in two. So place it right there, and hopefully this will, oh yeah. Having a sharp shovel helps.
Now we're cooking. Get in there.
Oh,
It's about to crack.
I'm really not this weak. There we
Hey.
go. I had a good grip.
Good job, Mama.
So now I have 2 pieces of hosta. And I might put this half back in that hole right there since it's at the front of the bed. And I like for it to look full and pretty. And then I'm probably going to divide this one up into at least 2 more pieces. And spread the love.
Have you been trimming on that hosta a little bit on this backside?
What are you talking about?
Right up through here. It looks like you cut a bunch of them out.
They probably just broke when I was digging them up.
I guess so. They'll come back. That's a big hosta.
I know. I don't know how long it's been since it was divided.
How long has it been there?
I've had hostas in this bed for probably 19 or 20 years.
Good Lord. Well, at least we know they stay for good.
Yeah, they're good perennial plants. Ugh.
Don't slip
And wear
now.
shoes. Be sure and wear shoes, everybody.
Yeah, don't be like me and get your toes out.
Stop it, Cooper. You're making me laugh. Darn it!
Slow and easy.
What is that, a rock? I swear, I think it is.
Get it, killer.
I almost twisted my ankle.
Hey,
I just had to get mad.
good job.
It's that damn rock again. Alright, I have butchered this thing. Well, is there anything left to this?
You get an A for effort, Mama.
Okay.
You did a little bit.
This is the piece that I'm going to plant over there. And I might divide that one again.
Did that wear you out, Mama?
I'm a little bit winded. But this just goes to show you that you can manhandle these plants. And they may be a little bit mad to begin with. But they'll come back around.
Mm-hmm.
They'll like you for it later on. So I'm just going to keep doing this. And I'll show you where I end up putting them. I got them planted. That one hosta, I was able to divide it into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 new plants. And it was kind of comical. I sort of had a little hard time just because I'm not the most graceful person, but I got it done. So, you new gardeners, don't worry about it. It'll look ugly before it looks better, and I'm going to turn the camera around and show you that these hostas look a little mad. But they'll perk up. Okay, this is the original. This is where it was. And that's what it's looking like now. Put it back in the hole with some fertilizer, and then I have watered it well. So it's ought to be perking up. I put one back there. That one looks the most pitiful. I think that one took the biggest part of the shovel, so it's not very happy. That's one. This is one. It looks healthy. It just looks like it's a little deflated right now. And then this right here is one. It looks pretty good. And then I have another one around back. I'll show you that one. This is the last piece. And I think that one will perk up too. They'll be all right. I'm sitting back here in this shady area, And I just wanted to show y'all this shade garden. It needs some major attention. But I'm just showing y'all, it doesn't happen overnight. Things look worse before they look better. And this is a case in point. This shade bed needs to be raked out, rake the leaves out, weeded. Things need to be cut back, fertilized, and mulched. And I'll get there eventually. It's just not going to be today. So, new gardeners, yeah, don't beat yourself up. Oh, I wanted to tell y'all this too. When I was a brand new gardener, I had planted, not this particular one, but I think it was the one that I just showed y'all where I dug the hostas up. But I planted an autumn fern one spring, and it lived, and the next spring when it was coming up out of the ground, all of the green was like this, and then all of this burnt. Look, I thought, is that burned? Is that what is wrong with that being all curly like that? Ooh, that must be something bad. Well, it's the new growth. Do you know what I did? I cut it all off. I cut the new growth off, and I left the old growth. But do you know what happened? That fern put on some more new growth. And I learned, and it's still there 17, 18 years later. It has been a couple of days since I divided the hostas. They're still in their holes, and they're looking maybe a little bit worse than they did the day I divided them and transplanted them. But they're going to come around. I'm not worried about it. They're going to be fine, and I'll keep y'all updated as the season goes on. But I just wanted to show you this. You know, when I divided the hosta and I broke off a bunch of the little leaves, well, I just brought them inside and put them in a vase and have them sitting on my kitchen table. There's no reason to waste them. I love having hosta leaves as a bouquet. So that turned out okay after all. Well, I appreciate y'all watching. And if y'all enjoyed this, I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe to my channel. I enjoy gardening and talking about plants and giving garden tours. So if y'all are interested in that kind of thing, my channel might be what you're looking for, especially if you are a newer gardener. I don't know a whole lot, but I might know a little bit, and I'll be happy to share anything that I know. So if you'll subscribe to my channel, I would appreciate it.